I'm Kat Scott and we're at my studio at Kala Sangam Arts Centre in Bradford, and I'm part of the YSI Sculpture Network 2022. So I mainly make kinetic sculptures, installations and experiences that usually evoke like wonder and curiosity. I'm really interested in wave phenomena such as like liquids and gases and using them as like materials. And I use a lot of like STEM processes, so like science, technology, engineering and maths processes within my work. Inner Horizons is like again a kinetic, interactive bubble sculpture really. And when I was making the work, I was exploring the question, what would it sound and feel like to be inside of a bubble? So it was quite philosophical, and I was thinking about like our first experiences of the world when we're submerged in liquid and almost in a bubble in the womb. And I made that work when I was in South Korea doing my first international residency in 2019 at the Asia Culture Centre in South Korea. And I was there for about three and a half months, and then I created that work whilst I was there in residence and had my own studio. And then I showed the work at the end in a 10-day exhibition at the Asia Culture Centre in like a group exhibition. It is influenced a lot by like architecture and like industrial design. Can you see those little tiny needles there?
Yeah.
As well, so there's like 16 of those around the edges, and I made like a 16-channel bubble system, I guess I kind of call it. And there's like 16 aquarium pumps, which is what you can hear now. And then, so usually you'd have like air bubbles coming out of here and they'd all like join at the top when the liquid's in the tank. I think your voice sounds different because you're in the dome. Like everyone mentions the acoustic qualities of the dome. All the electronics would work as they are now, but what you would see when you hear that machine noise is air bubbles coming out of the needles when there's liquid in the tank. Because I've been trying to work out what it is that drives me to make art, I guess. Recently I've thought of like a new series of work about wonder, and the questions are like, what is wonder and how can it be manifested? I've kind of been using that to drive some new pieces of work, experimenting with like different air pumps. So I was using aquarium pumps as like an air source to create the multi-channel bubble system that I made in Inner Horizons. But recently, because I got some DYCP funding from the Arts Council, and I got an air compressor. So I've been kind of exploring like different air sources so that I can create like different types of bubbles and make the liquid move at different speeds. I've not been trained in the science or technology. I did a textiles degree. During the degree I was like, I don't really think this is the right degree for me. But then by the final year I realised that I was really interested in science, and I think I was exploring like things like making the invisible visible and like thinking about invisible particles and molecules in the air, and also like acoustics as well, like how can I make sound visible? Because my studio has no windows, I have this TV over here which is like a virtual window, and I just like, I put like different natural environments on it each day when I come in, and then I just use it as like a bit of like ambience. So I have like birdsong or the sound of water, and like, yeah, I think I just really want to be outside all the time. I don't know if it's since the pandemic or something, but everyone was like, had this like craving almost like be outside. And with me being in the city quite a lot, I just need to like use it as a window. Like anyway, so sometimes I put clouds on it, and sometimes I just have like a river or like a mountain or something. Purposely I've like placed my work in a place where it can dip into so many different places, like in the arts and outside of the arts. And yeah, that's kind of like where I want to stay really, because it gives me the most option, but it also is like almost like a bit of activism to say, look, don't put me in a box, because why is like art separate to science and technology and everything else?